Okay, thought I'd bring a couple guys in from the second unit that take the lead a little bit. First question, who's got the microphone? Who's got the microphone over here? Okay, Tom, you got one? Dustin, you're next.
Trey, you guys saw what those guys did Tuesday in regards to making a lot of threes. It seemed like it was a real concerted effort to keep them off the three-point line and get out to all those shooters, and you were able to do that for 40 minutes tonight. Was that a main focus of emphasis?
Yeah, I mean, going into the game, we knew that they could shoot it, and they've been shooting it well. The game against Washington, we knew they were going to take a lot of threes, so that was one of our main focuses, was collectively just covering up the three-point line and getting out the shooters. And I think we did a great job on that as a team.
Dustin and Jeff.
It seemed like just with your second unit, but just with everybody, it seemed like you guys did a good job on rotations, just getting out to guys. Just what clicked from a communication standpoint? What did you like just about how you guys just played together as units that were out there?
Jordan, go ahead.
Can you say the question one more time?
Yeah, let me hear that. Sorry about that. I threw a lot in there real fast. I mean, just it seemed like you guys were able to communicate well, especially on rotations when you guys had to make switches, basically when you guys had to go out on ball screens. And just what did you like just with the group you guys brought, was it just as a team tonight about how you guys were able to communicate and switch when you had to?
So that's something that we do a lot in practice, a lot in practice. You know, just scrambling and getting a body on a body. That's just something that we pride ourselves on, which is defense, you know, obviously. So I feel like that just showed today on the court, because in practice we do that like all the time. So it just showed, you know.
This is for both you guys. I think in the first half you held them to 0.6 points per possession, dominated defensively. Just both of you, why do you think your defense was so good tonight?
Yeah, I think it just comes with preparation. And it's not, I mean, most of it's in the game, but it's before the game and the day before the games, and kind of locking in and knowing our scout and knowing what we got to do to be able to stop them. And also communication. I think that's the other thing that we really try to have a vocal point on, just being able to talk to each other and be comfortable with each other out there. And I think that's one thing we're growing, and we're going to keep growing on it.
Mike?
Hey, for either of you, both, Trace had 7 blocks in 19 minutes, which is a career high. How long has it been? Has he been really more active, a little bit more consistent, and playing harder? Have you noticed that before the season started?
Trace has always been playing hard. Practice in the game is like he's always that kind of guy that wants to prove that prove to people that he's the player that he is, and we all know the kind of player he is. So he's always just putting that work in and just working hard. So
Yeah.
And it shows on the court.
And he's our leader too, so him and Race are our captains, and he knows what he's got to do. If he brings that for every day, we're all going to bring it, and it starts with him. And I think that's one thing he's focused on this year, is just really bringing it every day in practice, not just the games, but in practice too. And I think that's helped him out a lot, and it showed tonight.
Okay, Mike and Zach.
You guys have both played in the Big Ten. Can you think of a better point guard duo than Xavier and Rob, based on what you've seen so far at those two?
No.
No, I mean, those two, I mean, they really benefit off each other really well. They both can do so many things, can guard the ball, and can get up and push it, and they're really fast and too. So I think those are some of the things we need this year, because we want to get out and run, and those guys can really push it. I mean, we all got guys who can push it, but those two specifically can really get out and lead our offense, and they're going to benefit each other and keep going, and I think it's going to work out for us.
Zach?
You guys have both had moments in these first couple of games where you've been the benefit of either kind of a skip-ahead pass, a lob, something like that. I know some of that just happens organically, especially when you're in transition, but is there some emphasis, too, on basically setting up? I think, Jordan, we saw kind of a backdoor for you last game. Trace had that inbounds play tonight, just almost emphasis on creating some of those opportunities at the rim?
Like all that stuff happens like you said, naturally. Like it's not like no set plays for that kind of stuff. But it's just knowing each other's our tendencies, and knowing how we play and what we do, and that's just the chemistry we have, because Trace knows I like the backdoor lob, and he saw it there last game, like you guys saw, and today also I call it lob from Trace. Like that's just the kind of stuff that he knows that I do, and that's just me and him, and you know what I mean. But there's different combinations from different players, so we all just know like our stuff that we like to do. So, yeah.
Jordan, just based off these first 2 games, how do you feel like you fit in differently based on the previous system and compared to Coach Woodson's system on the offensive side of the ball?
I feel like it's just confidence. That's all it really was, to be honest. I feel like I was still able to do all the things I was able to do this year, but last year, but I could do it more efficiently because I have more confidence this year. Because Coach Woodson was able to, talk to me and just, mentally get me right for the season, and I was able to contribute.
Okay, Dustin and Kevin, we'll finish.
Just, we talked about just this being the second unit out there and being effective. Obviously, Michael just came back to play tonight. Tomorrow, was kind of back and forth from injuries. I mean, how much time has this group had to even spend together? And, I guess if it hasn't been much, how has it been able to, find cohesion that quickly?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we've been dealing with some injuries, and guys have been in and out of the rotation in the preseason, and I think it's been like the next guy who's ready, and we're all staying ready, and we all got to stay ready because you never know New Jersey's going to be called. And I think Mike's been battling with this obviously knee injury, and he's been preparing to get back, and it was just great to have him back tonight. And then obviously Tamar getting back in the groove of things, and he's been great. But I think it's just the guys just staying prepared and just really knowing what we got to do to get back on the court.
Okay, Kevin, last question.
Yeah, Jordan, the activity protecting the rim tonight, Trey 7 blocks, it just seemed like everyone was, challenging shots. How can that translate, going into St. John's and some of the other, bigger opponents you guys are going to play this season?
It's going to be the same thing, really, just showing intensity on a defensive end, just, challenging shots. One thing Coach says, is like no layups, like don't give them easy shots, even if you're like, in a position where you can't even like contest a shot, really just show effort at least. That's something he emphasizes a lot, and I feel like it doesn't matter if it was this team or if it's like top 10 team in the country. It doesn't matter. We're still going to play hard and still show our fangs on defense.
All right, guys, thank you.